What's good, everyone? It's your guy, Lord Welid. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry about the delay. I uploaded yesterday the video, but CapCut kept crashing my computer, so I had to. Each time I open it, it crashed out. So I'm back to it with the Clipchamp editor. If you know some editor that is free and not kind of a bitch, just let me know in the comments down below. It'll be much appreciated. Anyhow, the video I'm going to do today was requested by my man Team Forward, and and it's gonna be a banger, much like the awesome ones. And this one's gonna be none other than the Attitude Era. In all honesty, everyone's favorite era in wrestling back then. And to answer your question, Sonic, you asked me about the awesome on John Cena. Sure, I will do an awesome on John Cena because as I told you before, Cena is my one of my favorites. In all honesty, and has been more like a childhood to early teenage years hero to me. So I thought about it during the last match as a thank you, Cena. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. So without any further ado, let's get started on 19 reasons why the Attitude Era was awesome. And don't worry, there are gonna be bonus reasons too. Reason number one: larger than life stars. The wrestlers were back then larger than life. You would know them even though if you didn't give two shits about it, you'd be like, hey, know who The Rock is? They'd be like, yeah, man, wasn't he the guy that if you smell, la, 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 la?" Or like Stone Cold, damn, son, Stone Cold's gonna open up a can of whoop ass, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Or like Hulk Hogan, well, let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? Or even the mid carders and all, like the Val Venus with the hello, ladies, and Bradshaw and Farouk being the party drunkies and all. Man, those were good days. Reason number two: the segments were actually really good. Something today's product lacks, unfortunately, because those men gotta make everything in the ring. Because I am a fiend. I am creatively bankrupt. Which is why the ratings are down nowadays. And he only books for the pops. Reason number three, which correlates to the reason number one and two. The product was actually entertaining. Because back then, if you remember, it had like the drama, the thing that will make you care, the suspense. You'd be looking forward to see what's going to happen. You'd be like, damn, those guys are really cool. You'd be entertained by them. Nowadays, you'd feel like, whatever. Oh, hooray! Like he'll pop something only for a pop, and after that, dive right back down. Just like this episode on SmackDown, like I saw on Twitter, all the neckbeards and degenerates and mentally deranged persons being, hooray! Oh my god, AJ Lee is back! I'm like, yeah, as if one CM Punk wasn't enough to deal with. And watch it. That's gonna be the catalyst until they will see who the real CM Punk is. Even though all of us, the smart ones, we all know him. He was only holding back, and that's what going to be the combustible element. Watch and see. And if they're expecting, oh no no no, mommy, she's back. She still looks like a kid by comparison to other women's. When you have women's like let's say Liv, Alexa Bliss, Tiffany Stratton, and all, they look like women's by comparison to her. So ding 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 ding, pedophiles, go seek mental help. And you know who I'm talking about, the AJ fans. Anyhow. Now we'll get to reason number four. Even the jobbers were actually cool. Even the guys that were in the mid card, that they were like the guys that would do the job. They had a look and they were like entertaining. You'd be able to get something cool out of them. Nowadays, the jobbers, they're entitled, yet their talent level is not commensurate enough to their contributions. Now, reason number five: good stories. Because you'd have back then moments that would make you care. A story which has a beginning, a middle, an end, and a follow through. Nowadays, with Noseman, I'll mimic you how he books. Ah, you got a great idea. Uh, it's stupid and illogical. Scrap it. Start all over again. Uh, electronic fault. My brain doesn't work. That's how he goes. Oh, I got a book for the pup. Anyhow, reason number six: quality feuds. What I mean by quality feuds is that the feuds back then, you'd remember them even though it's been like, well, almost 30 years later. You'd remember like the Austin McMahon, the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, who else? Rock and Hogan, the match. You'd remember also, God, what else? Austin and Kurt Angle, The Rock and Booker T, just as prime examples. The Goldust Val Venus, etc. Reason Now we'll move on to reason number seven. The matches were actually good. Sure, they weren't long enough. They were like the 7 to 10 minutes at most, which, in a way, reduces the risk of getting injured, gets you to have a longevity, and the wrestlers were pros, which means they weren't marks. The less is more type of way, which hats off to you, gentlemen and ladies back then. Now we'll move on to reason number eight, which correlates with reason number seven. The wrestlers had a good psychology, which means only when the matches were long were like the feud enders when they like go all out, like it's all or nothing type of situation. But nowadays, even for a random match, you'd have like a 200 years, 2 centuries for no reason because Noseman is bankrupt creatively and he can't book for shit. And he has replaceable trash cans. Anyhow, reason number nine: the wrestlers' theme songs were actually cool, and you'd remember them, much like the Rocks. If you smell the da 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 da. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, and the Stone Cold, the shattered glasses and all, and the Val Venus, hello ladies, etc., etc., and the Vince McMahon, no chance in hell at all. Oh yeah, those were the days. I miss them, honestly. Reason number 10: the pay-per-view names were actually cool, and you'd understand which time period we're on. Like let's say September, you'd had Unforgiven. Later on, you'd have No Mercy, and what else? You'd have like Survivor Series in November, and Armageddon, Royal Rumble, so on and so forth. So you know which time period we're in. Nowadays, it's like, meh, whatever. That pay-per-view name is stupid. It sucks. Reason, now we'll get to reason number 11: Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler as a commentary team, and that one has to be my favorite. Oh my god, look at them titties! They're huge! Oh my god! Puppies! Should be Jerry the King Lawler. King, would it be upset if Triple H gets a win over Goldust? Of course there'd be an upset. You'd have those guys being complimentary to each other, all the while being professionals. Unlike the marks nowadays in the commentary team. Now, reason number 12: actual sold out crowds. Unlike the lies that are being spread nowadays, we'll have retards like Michael Cole saying, "We sold out, we sold out." You go fuck yourself, you idiot. Unprofessional jackass. Nowadays, you'd have like a stadium that can fill like 40,000 people. The capacity they can buy like a 28,000, let's say. They get to like a 24 or like 25,000 at most. And they'll like brag, oh, it's a sellout, it's a sellout, it's a sellout. Even though if you were to see like on the stadium, you'd be seeing a lot of tarps, and it's been exposed multiple times. Anyhow, reason number 13: another favorite. another favorite of mine. The ratings were actually high because people actually cared about the product and cared about the persons. Nowadays, when you shove people like Sami Zayn, like CM Punk, for example, you'd be like, "Ah, fuck, I don't want to watch that shit. Oh, I'm gonna see that pathetic, miserable meth head throwing temper tantrums and wanting the world to be given to him, even though he hasn't offered anything worthy of it. Now he has his mentally deranged kid of a wife. Now all of a sudden, we're supposed to be happy? No, it's gonna be the same result all over again. Those marks will never learn. They're like what's the guy from the Charlie Brown. They're like Charlie Brown. They keep falling off with the same mistake. Charlie Brown and Lucy, yes, that's about right. Nowadays, they're happy with like 2 point something in a week, even though like 5 to 6 years ago, those ratings were the day of. And SmackDown would get like 1 point something, and they're proud of it. Mediocre schmucks. Anyway, reason number 14. The merch was actually cool back then. Let's say you were to wear a wrestling shirt like The Rock's or Stone Cold's or Hulk Hogan's or like Undertaker, the American Badass type of shirt. You'd look like a cool person, like a normal one. Nowadays, if you were to wear like a Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes, you'd get stuffed in locker and you'd be called a queer. Now, we'll move on to reason number 15. Prices were affordable and the quality was good. Much like in everything in life, you'll notice it. Prices back then were much affordable and the quality was good. Another example, in the car industry, let's say, you'd have like a Mach 4 Golf, which wasn't as exorbitant as the seventh or eighth generation is nowadays, and was much more reliable and much more elegant, and would be with you ride or die. Nowadays, you'll have to maintain it like a more than a baby if you're expecting it to last. Anyway, it's understandable. Times have changed, but unfortunately, they've changed for the worst. Now we'll move on to reason number 16. The pay per view theme songs were actually cool. You'd remember some of them. Like, let's say, the. What else? This. What else? I can't really think of one, but I know the theme songs were actually pretty cool back then. You'd get some. You wouldn't mind listening to them and all. But nowadays, those pay per view theme songs are shit. Because Noseman hired a bunch of cheap incompetents like Def Rebel. They'll do like the stupidest things the world has ever seen. Now, reason number 17. Another favorite of mine. The fans were actually cool people back then. Sure, you'd had a few marks back then, but it was like a very small minority by comparison. Nowadays, you have 500 land whales and neckbeards, and you'll have like 20 normal people. All of that thanks to CM Penis, Noseman, and Daniel Bryan, and the indie mentality wanting to shove it down WWE. Even though there is a reason why those jobber feds like ROH and all were only watched by nerds, were watched by 500 neckbeards at most, while WWE had the million viewers it had back then because it was the perfect balance. You get nothing but match, 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 match. What is that going to lead you? To fuck all. Thank you very much. Low ratings and low interest and many other things. But I know what they'll counter counter argue. They're making more money now. Yeah, by whoring themselves out to sponsors and all. Oh yeah, that's so great. Whoring yourself out yet losing viewers and all, and the quality is shit. Hmm. Anyhow, reason number 18. The pay per views and the WrestleManias were actually good, and you'd have memorable feuds. Like, let's say you'd have the feud that you would remember, like The Undertaker Triple H for WrestleMania 17, was it? As an example, you'd have like the Rock at WrestleMania 2000, and God, what else? The Hogan and Rock for WrestleMania 18, as well as what else? There are lots of feuds that you would remember at that time. The Did I say Austin McMahon? I'm pretty sure I said it. Goldust Valvinus, etc. You'd have all those that you would remember and that you would care back then. Man, I really miss. Reason number 19. The final reason. It actually had good competition and made you care about both brands, whether it could be the WWF or WCW. Nowadays, it's tribalism. Let's say you like one, you don't have to like the others. No, you can like something in both, and as a normal functional human being, you'd want the best for both. You wouldn't be a petty jackass like Noseman is. Noseman's way of thinking is like, let's say you were to own, like, as the previous example of the Mach 4 that I put, let's say you own a 1.9 TDI, the 130 or 150 horsepower, and you were to compete against the 1.9 SDI that has only 68. Obviously, at your weakest, you can obliterate him. Like, let's say, let him go full throttle. You can only use your fourth gear. You'll overtake him. When you get your fifth, you'll send him straight to hell. Anyhow, but yeah, Noseman will be proud of. Oh, look at me! I won. I defeated Tony Khan. Hooray! You defeated the handicap. Congratulations, imbecile. Unlike back then, you'd had like a fair competition, and you'd have like an alternative to watch something else. Nowadays, it's the same rinse and repeat, whether it is WWE, AEW, TNA. It's the same shit, only different permutations of characters, of quote unquote characters. I know there are a few characters that are left, but it's a small proportion, by the way. Now we'll get to the bonus reason. Bonus reason number one. The people back then had a mainstream appeal, even though they're like way older now, but you'd still remember some of them. And they still look pretty in good shape, like let's say Val Venus as an example. Even though the guy's got to be in his 50s, but he still looks marketable and looks like a star by comparison to those jobbers nowadays. Even let's say who? I know The Rock lost a lot of weight, but he was roided up in all honesty. Even what like he was like 30 some years ago, he had the look of a star, much like Hulk Hogan and all, Stone Cold and all, etc. You were to put those guys, you'll know they'll succeed no matter where you put them, because they had a good working ethic. And bonus reason number two, you'd look up to the wrestlers back then, and you can have some of them like as examples to follow. Let's say The Rock, working out and being a cool guy, entertain as much of a crowd as possible, be popular with the ladies and all. The Val Venus type, let's say, and you'd have like the Stone Cold guy, like I don't give a fuck, drinking beer, raising hell, party, whatever, or like the Bradshaw archetype. You'd have those guys as examples. Nowadays, the only few good ones that are left, the only few good one I should say, is John Cena as an example back then. If you were to look at it objectively 20 some years ago, the hero type and the motivational speeches and all, that's someone you'd look up to. But those degenerates now, you'd be like, fuck out of here, you suck, you jobber. Another bonus reason. Bonus reason number three. The wrestlers and the divas were pros back then. Even the women, like let's say the Litas, Sable, etc., Trish and Tori, and so on and so forth, were actually consummate pros, and they knew how to work smart and not hard, as well as also they knew how to conduct themselves as stars and capitalize on their strengths. Nowadays, those jabronis won't do that. If you were to, like, let's say, capitalize on something they're good at, they'd be like, how dare you objectify me? How dare you criticize me? How dare you? Shut up, you bitch. Grow a set. Another bonus reason which correlates to, was it number four? Bonus reason number four, yes. No, no, four, yes. It's number four. You'd look forward to see what's gonna happen next time. Because, unlike nowadays, sure, you'd be like, tune up to see what's gonna happen next week, but you'd have something to captivate you. Nowadays, you know it's gonna be the same formula, just different jobbers, and nothing but 20-minute match, 20-minute match, 20-minute match, small segment here and there, book for the pub. That's all this jackass knows how to do. And what boggles my mind is that he has all those flunkies. None of them has a set of balls to tell him, dude, you're fucking up. You only need like two people at most. The other ones, I wouldn't say fire them, but send them somewhere else. Send them go do something of their lives instead of ruining a product. And all the deals that WWE is doing right now is all thanks to Nick Khan and all, the money part. If it was only to Noseman, no, it would be just like Black and Gold, a money pit and a flop. A final bonus reason, none other than Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara in the writing team, which actually knew, those two gentlemen knew how to create characters and emphasize on what the person is good and on what the person is bad. And that's how you create a good character. Sure, you'll have some hints of it, of the guy or the lady's personality, however, incorporate it in a different character. That's genius booking. Nowadays, with Noseman, oh, you're gonna be the same indie fuck you were years ago. Oh, fuck it. I don't have time to book. Anyhow, overall, I think that sums up all the reasons, and if you think I forgot some, it'll be much appreciated. If you think I forgot some reasons, just let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be aware when I upload. Also, I apologize for the delay, which I said earlier. And if you aren't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe today, and you'll enjoy some more content. So, with that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace.